You ever get talking and then you forget what time it is?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we did this morning. It's 8:31, I think somebody just said. I think Arlene said 8:31. People are probably wondering, are they on today?
Did we sleep in?
No.
We don't sleep in on Wednesdays.
No, we don't. What time do you set your alarm for?
Usually around 6, but I was up earlier.
Yeah, it was 6:15. I think Arlene's always out of bed by that time. Yeah, she's nodding yes. Oh, there's Michelle Benson McCord and Mary Frost Johnson. Good morning, ladies.
Dale.
Dale was in yesterday.
Carla.
Block of the month.
Shelley. Looking forward to retreat.
May, yep. Mid-May. It was cold out there because it was doing a few flurries.
Oh, I know. I looked outside. It looked like it was just barely doing anything. And then by the time I got out there, I'm like, it's snowing. I have to say it.
But that's kind of the last time. I mean, and it won't last today. We know that because it's warming up. But you could really feel the temperature yesterday drop. Because it was 18 when I came to work in the morning. And, you know, at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, it was 8. And I was like, that's a big difference.
Yep.
Not going the right way. But the rest of the week looks like it's going to be in the 50 Fahrenheit. So. Well, a little too early to plant.
Well, we're still in April.
But our icicle pansies are doing okay out there on the back step. So.
Yeah, we're just rushing spring. We want it to be here already.
Yeah, we do. So, Miss Tammy, what do we have for door prizes this week?
We have some stuff that's very interesting. There is this Anne Fowl. Is that how you say it? Fowl?
Maybe.
Teaches you to color with thread. So it's a little DVD that maybe you could learn some thread painting. Looks very interesting to me. There's a little lunch bag, or, you know, like a little tote that's waterproof. So make a good lunch bag. And then I have 7 fat quarters with some cats on them. Beehives, just some springy things. So make a comment and then we will draw at the end. And as always, if you want something, it's, where are we? To get myself organized, is TAMI@cherishedpieces.com or Cynthia@cherishedpieces.com. And then we would love to help you. So we've got all kinds of different things today, don't we?
We do.
So where do you want to start?
Maybe we'll start with you.
Okay. So we have, here, I'll do that too. Let's just move that. Fun little books that came in. This is called Lovely Little Embroideries. And I was flipping through the book and it's just really cute. There you go. You can see some of the projects in there, and they're some of them are mini, like the little ones, and then some are a little bit bigger, but something you could finish in a day or two. Would be a cute gift to make, say, for Mother's Day or somebody's birthday, or just a because. So it teaches you how to do all these things. It's a really neat little book.
And it could be, you know, it could be in a found time bag, you know, so when you're sitting somewhere waiting for an appointment or, you know, waiting for your kids to finish a sport or something, you know, you just take that out and work on it.
Yeah, so that's $23.50. Then we have a bunch of Annie's quilting books that are $13.50. Twist and turn block quilts.
Does it show the projects on the back?
A little bit. Yeah, there we are. Oh, sorry, they're 13, not $13.50. So there's that one. Pre-cut strips and squares. You can kind of see there's lots of patterns and ideas for $13. It's like you're getting many, many patterns. There's Jelly Roll baskets and bags. And I think we always have strips left in our stash that can turn into jelly rolls. There's quick and easy charity quilts. That might be interesting. A lot of you do charity sewing.
And they're pretty too.
And then there's 2-color quilts, which of course you could turn into scrappy or whatnot, but there's just some ideas for you there.
Some of these 2-color quilts turn out so beautiful.
Yeah, like this, I was looking through this, of course, and then this green one was so effective, I thought.
It is.
Something very classic. So, you know, there's lots of good ideas. And then you might have seen these around the store or didn't really know what they were, or maybe you're looking for a quilt label sometime. There's these hand-printed signature labels. There's like a white, more of a white base with cats and dogs on it. And then we also have more of the cream base. So just depending on your, I got that upside down, on your quilt. And so Arlene did up a little sample of what you could do. So, you know, you could embroider on them. And, you know, they fit in there. There's a little spot there that you can do it. Or you could take your micron pen, like your permanent ink, and then write a little label. And so that's just a quick, fun little way to add a label to your quilt. And it doesn't have to have a lot of information, you know, maybe just who it's for and the date. Mm-hmm. So that's another idea. And so those are $9.95.
And you get how many on
the?
Six on the panel.
So they're 4.5 by 6.5 squares. And they've kind of got marked out, you know, where you would cut it. But you could always add like some sashing around it, make it a little bigger.
Sure. So dogs and cats.
Yes.
Very cute. And just in time for Mother's Day, we have light tables back in stock. I'm not taking the plastic off of this, but you can see this is, it is 12 by 16 and a half. And can you see the light levels come up?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So the lovely thing about this one is that, I have that on nice and bright, is that you could put your pattern underneath, you know, and then trace it or cut it, because they also have a mat, Caterpillar does, that goes on top, so that you could
Oh, I see.
trace. So if you had your pattern underneath, you could see that and then kind of trace or cut out some of your applique. But it is such a thin profile.
It is.
Now it has the cord here to plug in. But the beautiful thing about this is after it's charged, you don't need to have that plug in. You could have it, it will go for 5 hours without being charged.
Neat.
Now, Margaret Holden was telling me that she really likes this because she has it beside when she's doing paper piecing, because then she can see her seams. So
Okay.
she has this on top, and then she can see exactly, you know, how much more fabric maybe she needs to add, depending on the project. But these are beautiful light tables. As I said, thin profile. You can see that that's just, it weighs next to nothing. And it's
I like it how it has the brighter levels.
so it has the different levels of light. And then the mat. And the mats, of course, can be reordered, so you could always get a new mat. And these sell for $210. So it is just a great thing to have for your sewing room, and be a lovely gift.
Very lovely gift.
For you, or, you know, a gift to you, or a gift for somebody else.
Or tell someone you want it, right?
Exactly. So I think you still have some.
Yeah, I still do have
I'll
some
slide
stuff.
this off. And put
So
that in.
the sewing machine cover and caddy little kits came back in. They're $36. So you just, all your interfacing and everything is there. You just need to pick your fabrics. And then we also have a couple of these beekeeper binders that have come in. They're $15 each. I have that one with the ladies and the other one with the sewing machines.
They are ever so popular.
They are. And so they usually go pretty fast.
They do. The other thing that we were out of that has come back in again is we have this heat-resistant template plastic. And I'm just looking to see what the size is on this. Of course, it doesn't tell me, but it's a good size. What would that be?
I would say like 12 by 17.
Yeah, or 12 by 18. Yeah, it's a good size. And this one is heat resistant. So if you were wanting to, if you were doing hexes, or that, it would be excellent for hexes, but you know, anything that you're going to, you make many copies of, you could do that, and then you can iron around the edges. Sometimes people just want template plastic plain. So this one retails for $7.50, but you can reuse, and the good thing about it is you can iron on it. On this one, it's just plain template plastic, and there's 2 sheets that are 11.5 by 8.5.
So it's kind of like a sheet of paper.
Yeah, so this looks like it's 8 by 14. Now that I kind of, you know, there we go. Yeah, about 8 by 14. So for $3.50, you get the 2 sheets here. This one's $7.50, but they are great. And at least if you know that we have them, when you need them, you'll know where to get them.
Okay.
Good morning, Barb and Tanya. And what do we have?
No, I'm good here now.
We're good?
Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay, we're going to talk about cleaning products for our quilts and things. This product is called Retro Clean. Now, I don't know if you've ever had anything that has had blood on it, or maybe, you can think of when you've got old linens. Maybe you've picked them up at an auction, or you've inherited them. They're your mom's, your grandma's, and sometimes they look like there's rust on them, or they've really yellowed. This is the product you want, because you can soak it in it and it will remove all of those old discolored marks on the quilt or the doilies or the handkerchiefs, or it could be an heirloom
like a tablecloth
baptism
right.
dress. So this is just a wonderful product, and it works. You'd get many washes.
Well, it says 3 to 4 tablespoons.
Yeah, so this
and a gallon of warm water, so that's going to last you a long time.
That goes a long time.
Yeah.
Then we have these great little stain wipes. Now this one is, I should have mentioned, it's $21. That'll go for a long time. These are some stain wipes, and you could get out Sharpies. You could get it off your skin. These wipes would take it off. There's 10 in a package for $11.95. It will take off crayons and oil and grease, and these are just wipes. And it'll take it also off of hardwood furniture, and if you have a whiteboard that's been wrecked, or but it'll take off grease and tar.
It says upholstery, leather, canvas.
Yeah. So a lot of use for those wipes.
They're $11.95.
So that's a good stain remover. My favorite spot remover, though, is Grandma's spot remover, and I forget how much we're selling this for. $14 maybe. This stuff doesn't matter. I think it's $14, Arlene. I'm pretty comfortable with that. But this is the one that I have said, my son had, when he had this job in a concession, got grease on his jeans. Well, we sprayed it with this, and I just take a toothbrush to rub it in a little bit. Takes it right out. Blood. If you've been to a restaurant and inadvertently got salad dressing, right in the middle of our chest here, that seems where the last drop always goes. Well, and you've washed it, washed it, even if it's been washed, you can put this product, spray it on. I just rub it in a little bit, and I don't let it sit. Wash it right away, and it takes it out.
Kathy's asking about rust. So the Grandma Spot Remover on their list is rust.
It will take out rust, and so will the Retro Clean.
Yeah, I was just trying to read the label, but it wasn't getting too far. Okay.
So, it is really good. Oh, yes. Absolutely, Mary. That is exactly what you need for that baptismal gown. And it would take, like even wedding gowns that have been sitting, right? Sometimes we have put them away and not washed them after and forgotten. And then we also have, we have quilt soaps. So this is a quilt soap where you would use 1 tablespoon, and this is 1 tablespoon, and there's 8 ounces in here, and it's phosphate free for washing your quilts. And this is Orvis, so this is a great one to include as a gift when you give a quilt, so that people know what they should be doing and how to care for that quilt. So this package is $7, and they have good instructions, and it will preserve your quilts. Then sometimes we get into trouble when we're quilting, and we have a product called Retain, because sometimes we'll find a fabric that will run, and we can tell. And if you're not sure, just take a little snip of it off, put it in a glass, and just see if it runs. And if it runs, then you want to use Retain, and that will set the fabric and it won't run. Okay? Then we have a product called Synthropol, and should we run into problems, Synthropol is the one that will remove the unattached dies. And we have an excellent example, and that's courtesy of Margaret Holden and her mom. And this is Connie's quilt. We're just going to show you. This is a beautiful quilt that Connie had done, and you can see how the brown has run in this knot. See how it has bled?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they used the Synthropol, because we were talking. She used the Synthropol, and into the pail it went to soak, and you can see it start to soak here. And then the next photo, look at how dark that got. Pulled all that dye, and now look at her beautiful quilt. It took it all out. So that beautiful Celtic knot quilt was saved. And I mean, she really did a beautiful job of that. And now we, and she gets to retain that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I had one more.
Every time.
I know, it's me today. We have silk, which is really good for your lingerie and bathing suits and when you're traveling. So we have the silk products. I use that weekly for some of my things, and there's a little bag because you can also use it in the laundry. Now, some of you might be asking, some of these products say, to agitate it, and a lot of us now have front load washers. So don't be afraid just to take a big bowl or a small bucket, an old ice cream pail, whatever.
Or even in your laundry tub, like put the stopper in if you have one.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying I will mix the product up in the water.
Oh.
And then add it to the front loader.
Oh, there you go.
Because you don't want it necessarily to adhere right to that because it could leave a mark.
True.
Right? So I just agitate it in something else and then add with the water. And add the water right into it and then put my machine on. So that works very, very well.
Somebody was asking if you can use these on walls. Yes, you can. Cabinets, appliances, flooring, counters, laminates, tile, metals, plastics, rubber. So they sound like a miracle.
Well, I think at least if you know there are products out there to do some of these jobs, that when you get into a pickle, you know where to call. And you know there's something that will get you out of trouble.
Call the quilt shop.
And who would think, right? Call
the quilt shop. They got all the answers.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
That is so funny, Candy. So, what else do we have to
Well, we've got fabric, or you have something else you want to demonstrate?
Okay. I guess maybe while we're in the demo mode.
I want to learn something.
So, one of the things they talk to us about is that when we fold our quilts, we have these quilts that we put away for a long time. We typically, we get them into a nice, like this, we've got them all folded and into the cabinet.
In my closet, on the shelf, yes.
But over time, if they're sitting there, these folds will break the threads down.
Really?
They will. So what they want us to do, and they suggest, and I thought I could get just a small, this is such a cute little baby quilt, that this would be the one to demo it on. And maybe if we could. So what you want to do is you need to fold it on the bias. So you're going to come in on the bias, and we're going to fold it, and we're going to fold it again. And I could do a better job of it half here. It's much easier on a bigger table, but we wanted to be able to demonstrate this. And then you can come this way and this way, and we're just folding it in on itself. And then you can, and I would have normally folded this other end in too so that it was pointed. And then you can fold it like this. And this will keep your threads from breaking because we're folding it on the bias. Did that make sense? You're giving me that quizzical look.
Well, I'm just trying to understand. You're still folding it. So how is that going to prevent it from...
Because we're folding it on the bias as opposed to being straight. So it's kind of like on the bias of the fabric, and then you're just folding it in.
Interesting.
And that is going to protect, this will protect your quilt from having crease marks on it. So, there we go.
Where did you learn this?
Do you know, Judy Lyons, who now comes to some of our retreats, who's a quilt appraiser, had talked about this at one of the quilt shows years ago. I remember watching her and talking about it because she has a beautiful collection of vintage quilts and things, and talks about taking good care of the quilts that we have, and that there is a proper way to store them. I mean, if you're just putting it in for a little bit of something time, then that's one thing. But when you want to store them, and sometimes things end up in our cupboards longer than we would think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So guess what we're all doing this weekend?
Refolding our quilts. Isn't that funny?
Getting them out, touching them, and then refolding them.
Yeah. Okay.
What about rolling them? Do you know anything about rolling them?
You'd have to roll them on the bias, I think, Sheila. Yeah. But they do talk about it being on the bias so that it doesn't, anyway.
Well, there you go.
Maybe
We learned something.
Okay.
So should we show some fabric then?
Sure. How about you show fabric? And I will move this book over.
All right. Let's start with this. This is one of the B plaids denim. There are more on the way, and
Quarter bundles.
Yep. That's...
And some layer cakes, because there's a cute pattern we'll be showing you in the layer cakes that come in with the trees that she has done from this.
Okay. There's another one. I've just got some odds here, I guess. Just some ones that we think would work lovely with lots of other things in the store.
This was that with that woodland collection.
Oh, that we forgot. There's like a nice blue, a Michael Miller.
That's a nice cobalt blue, isn't it? Like that's that.
It's like one of my favorites to wear.
Yeah, and you look great in that color too.
And then there's a nice yellow, also Michael Miller.
And look how nice they look together.
Oh, well then let's add the red, you know?
Wow.
That looks like summer.
That's such a pop.
Yeah. So, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
And then, I don't know how well you'll be able to see these, but we have a lot of tone-on tones that we've restocked. I'm going to try to tilt it a little so you can see. Might have to get really close to your screen.
What does that one have on?
This one has like little sprigs with a little loop. That's very descriptive, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're kind of, it's a little long.
Oh, there you go. You can see it more like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, sometimes we have to tilt them in the store to look at them.
And then there's like a daisy.
This is, yeah. And daisy with little dots around it.
Yeah, pin dots. Then there's the dragonflies. Everyone always loves the dragonflies.
And is this our ultra white? Yes, these are our nice ultra white, bright whites, because there's different shades of white. We have ultra white, we have rice white,
Soft white.
soft white.
This is just a pin dot.
This
We may
is-
have to move these.
And this is before we get into the creams, you know.
You won't be able to see that one. That one's very fine.
Yeah, but that's just a tiny little dot.
So like a little leaf.
Yeah, like little branches.
Little branches.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, white on whites are always nice to work with. And then this is like almost like a scattered. This is now a soft white, like more of a creamy white.
Mm-hmm.
Almost looks a little bit like snow or just scattering confetti or something.
Yeah, it's a nice white too. I like it.
And then the last one is leaves.
Yeah, these are little leaf sprigs.
So
Sprigs, that's a good word, isn't it?
sprigs. There you go.
Sprigs.
Keep going.
Sure.
Let's see. Let's move these. And then there's some flannels because you know we're still
Box
making
and man
stuff.
girls.
Can't move. For there's lots of babies coming, and we still like to have warm blankets and things for them. There's this little woodland theme tree.
Yeah, and these Riley Blake flannels are also made in Korea, which are, our nice soft flannels are made in Korea.
That's a fun one.
That's that nice mint. These are fun ones for kids. Look at that.
And then there's bears on bicycles.
That looks particularly nice with the mint.
Yeah, you could do that together. And then there's little bears with some little
Raccoons.
animals.
Do you know there was a raccoon in our backyard this morning?
Yay. Was it
Not-
foraging?
Well, I was glad to see it go over
This
the
is the
fence because I don't want the dogs out there.
Oh, and then there's a green bears on bicycles.
And that would look nice with the gray or the mint.
Yeah, so
Aren't
there's
they
lots
just
of
fun?
Fun prints.
Maybe we'll talk about the quilt behind us, Tammy.
Okay.
I think we showed this to you a couple weeks ago when it just thought that was before it was quilted. And there's a lovely quilting design on it that Louise has done. I forget the name of it, but it's very pretty.
And the size of it is 72 by 84 for $120.
And this is a Missouri Star pattern.
Yes, so when you're getting the kit, there's a book in there with, I think it's her newest to us.
Yes.
Newest book, yeah. So that's a fun one. The flannels are 16 a yard. I just saw somebody ask.
Perfect. Well, this is a new line by Figo, which is a division of Northcott, and Libs Elliott, a well-known Canadian designer, has moved over to Northcott and Figo, and this is her line called Workshop. And this one, I know that when we were looking at fabric with the rep, Arlene thought this one was just gorgeous.
This is fun, yeah.
Yeah, that was just great. So that's kind of a blue. So we bought the whole line. There's like a gray. This is really, really interesting designs. And Libs Elliott always has lots of ideas. What's the name of that quilt kit somebody's asking us? The one that you just showed.
We'll have to see if we can come up with it. Okay. So these are 16 a yard. I think you probably already said that.
I did not, but thank you. And here's a nice light gray. And that's kind of that's like a sorbet. Can't you just taste that?
Oh, yeah. Now that you said it.
Here it is in orange.
Oh, yeah. Orange would be good. Like a mango peach. Now we're going to be on.
Oh, yeah. And that's kind of licorice-y. Maybe a little bit of ketchup.
Ketchup? Okay, how did we get from a sorbet to ketchup?
I don't know. I'm just being silly.
All right.
And here we go. This is this one here. It's sort of in the teals. Very nice textured fabric too. Teal, and we have some mauvey purple.
Yeah.
Some great blenders in here, and these are all 16 a yard, this collection.
See, that looks good together. Kind of a greeny gold.
And look at that even.
Yeah.
Just has so many possibilities. It will be very interesting to see what you do. We love when you bring things in, and we're going to be doing our show and tell here because there's lots of interesting show and tell this week too.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of a darker charcoal.
Like a charcoal, yeah.
And there's that mauvey and my not ketchup color that Tammy's talking about here.
Well, then this is barbecue sauce.
Okay, barbecue sauce it is.
Okay. Do you have that line in fat quarters?
It did not come in fat quarters, so I know somebody got some half meters, and we can certainly cut. Yeah, she is a great designer and an interesting person. Yes, she is. Okay, so we have this quilt behind us.
This is the blue one, the Totem Whole Cloth Quilt by Marcia Durst. It's 55 by 65. And so a whole cloth means that there's not a lot of sewing involved, but it looks like you did a lot.
And look at the great design on the back. Mm-hmm. So it could easily be, you could turn it over. So
and use the back, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should switch to our show and tell.
Oh, and we forgot to say that was 75 for that kit.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, here's Wendy Waller. And look what she did with this. Isn't that beautiful with the looms?
Mm-hmm. She did a really nice job with that.
And this is Fabre's, and this is all needle turn applique.
Oh my goodness.
And she brought that in yesterday. It's going out to be quilted, but it is just stunning.
Lots of details.
Oh, yes. She's got little bird beaks, and she's, lots of little details, doesn't she, Arlene? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of fun looking at that yesterday.
Missed it.
And this one is Corey Hookstein, and doesn't show quite as well as I'd like it to because it's so pretty. And she has used doilies, and she's made these beautiful flowers with these doilies.
That's
on
fun.
This tone-on-tone. It's just such an interesting idea, and it turned out beautiful. There's a lot of handwork in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Corey. And this one that she did are 3-dimensional pinwheels.
I love the polka dots.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's nice and bright.
It is.
This is Geraldine, and she came in, I think, with her daughter and granddaughter, and one day was picking out a bunch of fabrics, and she said she didn't know what she was going to do, but she was going to come up with something, so she did, and it was beautiful.
Is it Geraldine Brackenberry, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that just stunning?
It's
So
nice and big, like it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And she just made that up herself, like decided what she would do. And this is Heather Campbell with her finished paper piecing project. And then I think that she had some scraps and she was having some fun with her scraps. And I think that's the next picture, maybe. Yeah, so she had just grabbed her scraps from another project and was feeling good about, just using things up.
Mm-hmm.
Anya.
It's a horse-themed quilt.
These are for a bunch of grandchildren, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Mary Deborah Wallace. This is Radiance. She bought this kit from us last year, I think.
Yeah, quite a while ago.
And she picked a border on for this because she's going to do a quilt as you go border on it to make it a bit bigger. But isn't this just fabulous? I love it. And this is Margaret Holden.
It's her log cabin that's all finished.
And this is
pepper and
coal and
cheddar.
Coal and cheddar line.
Yeah, that looks huge.
It is. It's a big king size quilt.
Wow. No, she's been working on it for a while.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Turned out nice.
And on Saturday, Britt Dowson was in and did a cross stitch class. And there she is with Peggy, and there's Rita and Catherine. And we had these pre-made kits, which we have shown you before, like that had everything included. And last week, Darlene Lachance also had her bag making class, like her
project
bag.
Yeah.
So a lot of people took this as a good way to learn how to insert zippers.
Mm-hmm. They had a lot of fun. I think they all pretty much completed one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. There was a lot of laughter carrying on in this one, which is great. And we had a special visitor
from Newfoundland,
Kathy Johnson, and she made sure she introduced herself because she watches us on the show, and she was in visiting and thought she'd come in and introduce herself. And yes, Betty Ann Spink, there is Mary Dinger. She was in the class with Mary Deborah. So there we are. And what do we have here?
So we have a couple of Canada featured things. We have 2 panels left in this. So if you were wanting one last year and you thought they were all gone, we still have 2. One could be yours. I don't know what I did with the other one. And I think they're 17, right?
Okay.
We also have a Canada placemat panel. So it gives you 4. They're all the same. That panel is 17. And when I made these up, instead of putting batting, because this top fabric feels a little bit like a home decor weight, I just used some flannel. That was Arlene's suggestion, and I think it worked well. So they've got a good weight to them. And I did was...
But not tippy.
No, not tippy. And then all I did was just echo this one line because I felt like even if you wash them, they'll keep their shape. There's that. And then we also have a Canada bag panel. So it's like a little tote bag since we're getting away from plastic bags. We got to start remembering all our bags when we go shopping. Note to self.
I always have them in the van.
I know.
I walk into the store without them.
Yeah, don't remember until I get to checkout.
I know. That's when I remember too.
So it's just a cut and sew panel. Like everything on the panel is there. The instructions are in the corner, and it's 17. So be a cute little thing to whip up. Could be a Mother's Day gift, or for the summer. And
Tammy was just was just asking what the name of the blue quilt in the back of the store is. That's our beginner one. And
Warmth in Our Stars.
Warmth in Our Stars. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, we just had a lot to talk about today, didn't we?
We did.
We thank you for joining us. We feel very blessed that there's so many of you that do come out and watch us and then come and see us.
That's right.
Okay.
So we will do our draw. I'll do the tote bag first.
Merle Parkhill?
Congratulations, Merle.
Waiting for you. We'll do the fat quarters, the 7 little cat fat quarters.
Terry Lynn Ralph.
Congratulations, Terry Lynn. And then the thread painting DVD.
Mary Jane Danino.
Mary Jane, congratulations.
Arlene will post your names, and you can let us know if you want to pick that up or if you need it mailed.
Perfect.
Or a friend can always pick it up for you too if they're going to be visiting without you.
And next week I may have some retreat pictures because we have a retreat this weekend.
Sure do.
Yes, we do. So we look forward to that and seeing some of these ladies that have been watching. We'll be there. So
It'll be lots
Good.
of fun.
it will.
Good food. Maybe some productivity.
Maybe.
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 Yeah.
Okay, so thank you once again for joining us. Have a wonderful week.
Have a great week.
Take care. Bye.